This Miss Melinda. Welcome to Miss Melinda's Spontaneous Smart Diva Show. So how is all my fans and students doing out there? Let's see, what day is this today? Let's see, I have an appointment tomorrow. That always helps me figure out what day it is. I have an appointment. That means today is Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, happy Tuesday. So we have a new exciting class. As you've been told, it's always going to be a surprise what class I'm teaching. And I will never teach the same class like right in a row. Unless I want to do just 2 pages more, on a class, I could do that. But basically, you won't get more of another class, for at least a few weeks. There's not going to be any class that you're going to count on. It's going to be an every night surprise. It's going to be, what was I calling it? It's going to be up for grabs. It's going to be, we don't know what show we're doing. It's going to spontaneously hit me. The next morning, I will either spontaneously come up I will tomorrow morning or afternoon late. I'll have to get started on my notes. So I will spontaneously come up with a subject to teach, a class to teach. I will look through my books. I got lots of books. And I will pick something out. And that's the way I told you we were going to be doing it. So it makes it much more exciting because you never know what Miss Melinda's going to teach today. But we just know they're going to be easier classes than biology. But I still want you to dip into my biology classes. I worked hard on those. Dip in 10 or 15 minutes if you can once in a while. Starting in the beginning of the biology and just dip it. Or jump to 20 and jump through the last 20 biology videos. Just 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there. Yeah, because I got dressed, I wrote the notes, I busted my butt for those 45, biology classes. So I still want you to go back on them, but I want you to watch the new uploads over and over again, and you don't have to worry about watching anything in order anymore, except when you go back to biology or my trials class or my judicial system. Everything else is up for grabs. You can jump anywhere you want and watch the videos, okay? Okay, so tonight, the surprise is I decided to teach the weather, okay? We've all probably had some education in school on the weather, but I'm going to refresh our memories. How about that? Okay? Okay. So, which just reminded me spontaneously, I had a picture. I still had it from my parents' house. I don't know where it's at in my room now. I gotta still have it somewhere because I've seen it. Oh, I can't tell you what the picture is because we haven't gotten to that part of the class yet. Okay. Well, it would be great if I could find that picture. It's gonna come later in the class what I'm talking about. Okay, so the surprise is I'm teaching the weather. Okay? And even if we've had it, which we all have had, probably, I think I had weather in 7th and 8th grade class. Yeah. It doesn't matter. This will remind us of everything, okay? So let's have some fun, and it's easy to understand. Okay, so weather. Weather is, let's see, am I in the right position? I think so. I think I'm in the right position. My hair has to go back because I want you to see the beautiful baby snaps. These are baby snaps. It's a hoodie back there. I want you to see my hoodie hanging in the front with the baby snaps. They're little tiny baby snaps. Yeah. I bought this years ago here when I was living here, but it's been like 8 years ago, and I never wore it. I never wore it. I says, I'm going to wear this top because I never wore it. I'm going to film in it. And it was snapped all the way up to the tippy top snap. And I said, what the heck is this snapped all the way to the tippy top of my throat? But I didn't even think about the fact of how far down I can unsnap it and turn it into a sexy cleavage, somewhat naked bosoms. It's not real wide open, you know. That's the way it's made because it's a tight top. And so if you snap it, like even up to here, like some women might do, then it would be too loose. What am I trying to say? If it made it bigger, lower, if they made this shirt lower cut, a lot of women wouldn't wear it all the way down here unsnapped. There's 2 little baby snaps I have snapped. That's it. A lot of women would want to snap it up to at least like around here-ish. Okay, and it's meant to be a tight top. So if they cut it out, then when the women snap it up to where they wanted it, it would be too big. So I guess it's not seeing a real lot of my naked bosoms like I thought it was. You're just going to get mostly cleavage. But hey, be happy. This is not all about my bosoms. The cleavage is fine. I was not going to even wear it. I didn't even think about unsnapping it all the way. I was going to wear it as a close up, I was going to wear it as a covered up top. Yeah. Because it can't always be about my bosoms or cleavage. Well, you just got the cleavage, and that is plenty. It looks hot and sexy because it's tight. You can still see my bosoms through the top, with the tight top. It's a beautiful baby blue. I love it, with baby snaps, and I just love it. Yeah. All right, let's teach class, and enough of my cleavage and bosoms. I'm tired of having to defend myself, you know. You're not going to always get, cleavage or bosoms. Okay. But you can always see them with the clothes that are not low cut. Okay? Okay, weather is the name of this class. Weather is the day-to-day changes in atmospheric conditions, okay? Sunshine, rainfall, and wind speeds. Some areas have similar weather every day, while others have very changeable weather. Next title. What are thunder and lightning? Did you know I never knew this in my 66 years of living? And if a teacher would have told us in any one of my classes, which would be actually back in grammar school, I never knew how. I thought you spelled lightning, L-I. So this title is what are thunder and lightning? Okay, I thought lightning would be spelled L-I-G-H-T, and I didn't think of an N being there, an N. I thought lightning. I know you could hear an N, but I thought I would have just spelled it lighting. I don't know what I would have done, but I didn't know it went from light, like switch the light on, to an N for lightning. I didn't know lightning was spelled light. I knew how to spell light, like turn the light on, but I didn't know an N is going to pop up right next to the word light. So it's light in, and then ing, I-N-G, so it's lightning. I'm sure I say it that way my whole life, lightning. I say it the proper way, but I never knew there was an N, ning, like that. No. Did you? Whatever. What are thunder and lightning? In a storm cloud, air currents force water droplets to create, in a storm, cloud air, A-I-R, like the air you breathe, okay? In a storm cloud, air currents force water droplets to crash into each other until they become electrically charged, okay? Lightning is the huge spark of electricity produced as the charge is released, okay? It's a short class. I say that every class. Well, I've shortened them, But the other day I gave you a 14-page one. I said I got to make one long once in a while. But I did that. So this one's short. Okay. So lightning heats the air that you breathe around. Lightning heats the air around it so quickly that it produces a loud, booming noise. Thunder to work out how far away a storm is, Count the seconds between the lightning and thunder. To work out how far away a storm is, count the seconds between the lightning and thunder. Count the seconds between the lightning and the thunder. 5 seconds indicates 1 mile, and that's what they say in English. 5 seconds indicates 1 mile. But then they got in parentheses 1.6 kilometers. See, I'm not an expert with kilometers. They use that over in England. I don't know what 1.6 kilometers means, but you could Google it, and so will I. And maybe I can learn kilometers. Okay. So, the next title is, okay, let me get my, all right. Why does it snow? Okay. Tiny water droplets in clouds freeze to form ice crystals. These 6 dash-sided crystals can bind together and create beautiful snowflakes. The ice crystals are heavy, so they will fall from the clouds, period. If the temperature of the air below the clouds is less than 32 point Fahrenheit, we know that's freezing point. If it's less than freezing, it says if the temperature of the air below the clouds is less than freezing, okay, and they put in parentheses 0 and like a star and then a C. I don't know, like Celsius? I don't know. So I have to Google that. And you could Google that too. I can't, I can't be Googling this stuff. It's too much because it takes me hours to write up this stuff, okay? So you could Google what the 0, I'm sure it probably means Celsius. Yeah. It's not calculus. That's calculus is like trigonometry and all that. Yeah, I was saying that yesterday because I was spaced out. Okay? Give me a break. I'm human. All right. The ice crystals will remain frozen and fall as snow. If the air is above 32 Fahrenheit, parentheses 0 star C, parenthesis closed, the ice crystals will melt and fall as rain. Now, you understood that just as easily as I did. We didn't have to know what the stupid C thing is. We know they're saying freezing point. If it's above, it says if it's below freezing, it's snow. If it's above freezing, it's rain. Oh, see how easy that is? Yeah, that's why we're going to have more fun than biology. We don't have to be rocket scientists. Well, we understood some of it, and I still want you to try and jump in there once in a while. Okay, here's the next title. How are clouds made? Water vapor in the air condenses into tiny droplets, okay? The droplets are not heavy enough to fall as rain, and instead they group together to form clouds, period. Different conditions form clouds of different types and shapes, okay? Did you hear that? Form different types and shapes of clouds. Here is cirrocumulus. And I remember we had this in 7th or 8th grade. The names of clouds. Okay, so this is the name of some clouds. And it starts Cirro. Okay, that's the beginning. And then the last of the word, it's a long word, it's cum, C-U-M. There's three U's. Okay, after you do Cirro, C-I-R-R-O, it turns into 3 U's. Cirro, cum, C-U-M, mul, but it's only 1 M. But I'm saying mul, M-U-L, just to give you how to do the second U. And then lus is L, us, like us. People like us learn how to spell. I'm trying to give you an example. So, here's the word. Google it. Right there. Where my fingers are. See my fingers? All right. Write that word down. And then take down with a pen and paper, okay, that, and you can Google it, but it's going to tell you what about them right now. Okay, so cirrocumulus clouds look like ripples, and then there's altocumulus. So the last half of this word has got 3 U's, and it's just like the word I just taught you. Cumulus, C-U-M-U-L-U-S. Alto is the beginning of this one. And like I have an alto voice. Yeah, I was told that by the piano teacher in grammar school. She gave each of us a singing test. And she told my mom that your daughter shouldn't sing or she'll lose her voice. Well, it's getting a little ridiculous, isn't it? But that's what she told her. And I couldn't carry a note. But she says you have an alto voice and you can't sing and you shouldn't because you'll lose your voice. Well, here I am. I don't lose my voice, and I've been singing for 66 years. Altocumulus clouds, this is another name of clouds, okay, are white and puffy. Cumulus clouds are big. Well, it's just using the word cumulus clouds are big. Is that a third different clouds, or are they talking about altocumulus because it has cumulus in it? And are they talking about cirrocumulus because it has cumulus in it? Or are they saying there's a third one just called cumulus clouds are big? They didn't make that clear. They got altocumulus clouds are white and puffy. I didn't tell you that. Altocumulus clouds are white and puffy. Cumulus clouds are big. I think it means all the cumulus that have a different prefix, okay? Okay, now cauliflower-shaped clouds. So they have clouds that they call cauliflower-shaped clouds, period. Stratus clouds, that's another cloud, kind of clouds. Stratus, S-T-R, S-T, and then rat, on us. Okay, so I said that word association. Stratus is S-T, and then it's spelled with a rat, R-A-T, and U-S, like us. So you could say, don't rat on us, with an S-T. That's what I did in college, to remember how to spell and say a word. If you say, don't rat on us, S-T, oh, okay, it's S-T, R-A-T, U-S. See how easy that was? Okay, so cauliflower-shaped clouds, and then period. Stratus clouds are flat and low-lying. So stratus clouds you could probably see up, are flat and low-lying. So they're low, in the sky, lower than other clouds that can be up much higher, Yeah. These clouds, those stratus clouds might be below like an airplane, Okay, how are rainbows caused? That's what I was going to tell you. I got a picture of a rainbow. I think it was at my parents' house. Yeah, and I think I still have it, but I would have to go through you know how many bags of pictures I got? Yeah, I caught a rainbow and took a picture of it. So how are rainbows caused? Rainbows, okay, I'm finishing up a class. You gotta be real quiet, okay? I'm finishing a class right now. How are rainbows caused? Rainbows, which appear in the sky after rain, are the reflection of sunlight and raindrops, period. The raindrops split the sunlight into a spectrum of colors. Isn't that fascinating, to make a rainbow? The raindrops split the sunlight into a spectrum of colors. That's fascinating. I never knew how to, okay, so, not to define it this good, and then, so it says, the raindrops split the sunlight into a spectrum of colors. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, indigo, D-I-G-O. I don't know how to pronounce it, indigo or indigo. I've never heard of that color. And violet. So I don't know what indigo is. I'll have to Google it. You can Google it too. And violet. So to see a rainbow, your back must be to the sun. And that's all about rainbows. We only have 3 pages left. Are you guys with me? Are you guys staying with me? We only got, don't take her this way. Don't take her this way. She's going to go into the background of my video. Yeah, thank you. How is weather forecast? Okay, the science of studying weather systems, meteorology. And of course, we all know the suffix ology means what? All my subscribers that have been with me for all these months, what does ology mean? It's the suffix, the study of. Okay, so how is weather forecast? The science of studying weather systems, meteorology, because it's the study of the weather. See, I told you. I said they got to have a word with ology, because they said the science of studying weather, and they did. Otherwise, I was going to have to do it for them. But they did. They were smart enough to say the science of studying weather systems, meteorology. So it's the study of, yeah. Information on temperature, cloud type, wind speed, air pressure, rain and snow is collected regularly from places all over the world, period. In addition to info from the ground, meteorologists can get an accurate picture of the weather from satellites in space. Isn't that amazing? from satellites in space. The info is sent to forecasting stations and plotted onto charts. Meteorologists can make fairly accurate forecasts up to a week ahead. Well, I always get 10-day. They also show 10-day 10-day predictions. The only thing is, like they say here, they say meteorologists can make fairly accurate forecasts up to a week ahead, is because that's pretty guaranteed. So they can, I get like if I'm going on a trip, I'll look up the 10-day too. And they have some basic idea on, so instead of 7 days, they add 3 more days prediction of the weather, and I look at that when I'm going on a trip. But the last 3 extra days, that makes 10 days, are not always accurate because it's so far away. But a lot of times it can be accurate, 10 days away, yeah. Okay, we've only got a page and a half left. You with me? Yeah? Are you guys with me? Okay, let's go. What are tornadoes, hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones? A tornado is a twisting storm funnel about 330 feet. And they put, to make us confused, in parentheses, they said 100, I guess a small m means millimeters. I don't know. But if we don't know, just kind of ignore it. Google it on your own time. Let's read it again, because you really don't need it. A tornado is a twisting storm funnel about 330 feet wide, okay? The winds inside the tornado can reach speeds of 220 miles per hour. And this has got 355 kilometers / lowercase h. You could Google that. Tornadoes move in straight lines across land and are most common on the Great Plains. I don't know what the Great Plains are. Probably like in Wyoming. And yeah, that's why like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz was swept away in Kansas. So yeah, that's what they mean when they say tornadoes move in straight. Where am I at? The winds inside the tornado can reach speeds of 220 miles per hour. Tornadoes move in straight lines across land and are most common on the Great Plains. So they're talking about when you're in the middle of nowhere, like Midwest, Wyoming, Utah, there's a million of them. Louisiana's the worst state. The people are getting, murdered in Louisiana and Texas. I mean, it's almost every year that they're swamped and thousands of people have died. I wouldn't live there. I'd move the hell out. Yeah. So, tornadoes move in straight lines across land, okay, and are most common on the Great Plains. At the center or eye of a tornado is an area of pressure so low that it can cause buildings to explode. Hurricanes are much bigger storms that form over tropical waters. Okay, so hurricanes, that's why I always wondered that. So hurricanes are called hurricanes because they're over tropical waters. Tornadoes, I don't think they are. Maybe not. But I'll have to Google that. But they're here. I've seen one tornado in my life. Well, I might have seen more. I've seen one when we lived on Deer Path. It was the 70s, probably the early 70s, maybe late 60s. A tornado was coming towards our house, kind of, but it was farther away, and it just disappeared. And we were like, oh, thank God for that, We lived in a ranch-style house on the corner, So, in the Atlantic Ocean, it's saying the hurricanes that form over tropical waters in the Atlantic Ocean. Okay. I had looked up Atlantic Ocean when I was doing what I want to teach. I said, well, pick out the Atlantic Ocean. I just wanted that. I guess because we live closer to that. But I've lived on every coast. I've lived on the Atlantic coast, Pacific coast, and the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, so in the Atlantic Ocean is where the hurricanes tend to be in the tropical water. Well, I guess they would be around Hawaii in that tropical water too, right? They are so powerful that when they strike land, they can devastate crops, forests, and buildings, period. Storms that form over the Pacific Ocean are called typhoons. This is the end, last sentence, so listen. Storms that form over the Pacific Ocean are called typhoons. T-Y-P-H, which we pronounce with an F sound, as we know, O-O-N-S, typhoons. Typhoons. So, storms that form over the Pacific Ocean are called typhoons, and ones that occur over the Indian Ocean are called cyclones. Well, that's what Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, I thought they called it a cyclone. But they're saying it's over the Indian Ocean. I'm not sure where the Indian Ocean is. I have to study my map. I got a big map book, and that's the end of class. Yeah, that's the end of class. You will get a lot of teachings out of I got a big, huge map book. Oh, it's going to go deeper than what you're thinking in your head. Yeah, much deeper. And so, maybe not far from now, I'll do something out of the map book. Okay? So this is a Tuesday night. I want to go get in bed and YouTube a movie. Because I have to get up tomorrow, and I got to pick out some classes. And I'm going to have to teach at least 2 tomorrow night, because I'm only teaching 1 tonight, and I'm supposed to keep up 2 I'm supposed to upload 2. I try to give myself, in other words, I try to upload 6 videos a week, every 7 days, okay? But they come in 2s usually, or I might do 3 if I'm, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed and got 3 classes written up. Yeah, I've done it before. Okay, I'm going to go YouTube a movie, and I have some money for a hot cocoa. So I'm going to get under my little blankies, and I'm going to look up some Halloween movies, but not the ones you see on TV. I'm on YouTube. You can look up anything. Well, it doesn't have to be exactly Halloween. I'm going to look up, like, actresses I know. I don't know how old most of my fans are. I wish I knew what the average fan, how old they were. But I'm sure I have plenty of senior citizens my age in their 60s. I would think so. So anyway, and I'm sure I got a lot of young people. Yeah, I'm sure you're in foreign countries. My assistant, he's a tutor. He's teaching me how to use my tablet. Not for filming. Obviously, I know how to do that. But there's a lot of other things to do, And I have to go there for help for a lot of things. Like when YouTube tells me, okay, now you're eligible to fill out an application and send it in, so my tutor will fill out the form basically for me. I mean, he, because I wouldn't know how to do it on my own. And then he knows how to send it to wherever it's got to be sent. And then if I meet, they have to okay it and see if I meet the monetary requirements. But I would think if they had any problems, they would say something to me. Yeah, because they used to root me on. Hey, when I first got, started getting famous, get more and more subscribers, they kept saying, keep doing what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, the people are loving it. Yeah, and they kept saying it every time I'd go into my YouTube studio. Yeah, keep what you're doing. The people are liking it. They kept rooting me on. And we'll let you know when you're eligible to apply. And so let me get some sleep. So maybe I can write up at least 2 classes tomorrow and film 2 tomorrow night. Yeah, because this is bad. I just have 1 to upload, tomorrow. But that's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay? I've been doing a darn good job. I've been making 6 a week, 6 videos. And so we will move on. Okay. All right. So I love all my subscribers and my fans. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit my like button, everybody. And I love all you guys. And I will see you next class. Okay. And you're going to wonder, what's Miss Melinda going to teach next time? I don't know. I don't know either. We'll see. Okay. Good night. I love you guys.